All right, what's good, YouTube? It's Shin, and today I'm coming to you from downtown Las Vegas, where I'm headed to the Garden Court Buffet for some brunch. Now, it's been over a year since I've been back to Mainstreet Station for some food, and I'm excited to go back and see what it's like. Let's head on inside. All right, everybody, so I'm seated now for my brunch here at Mainstreet Station. Now, the Garden Court has a brunch buffet available every day of the week from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And on weekdays, that runs $24, while it's $27 on the weekends. Now, it's been a while since I've been back to Mainstreet Station, and I'm really looking forward to eating today. Let's go ahead and take a look at what they've got available on the line. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and take a look at what they've got to eat, starting here at the salad bar. Here you have your lettuce blend, and that's next to the house mix. Here are all of your salad toppings. Looks like cucumbers and eggs, cheese, red onions, tomatoes, and olives. And then that's next to some chickpeas, as well as some carrots, tomatoes, olives, and then plenty of dressings. It looks like we have Caesar, blue cheese, Thousand Island, balsamic, ranch, and Italian. Very nice. Here are your assorted breads and croutons. Next to your toaster, butter and jam. And here is some yogurt. Looks like a strawberry yogurt here. A cottage cheese. We have some capers. And that's next to some cream cheese. Smoked salmon for your bagels. And then we have some sliced tomato here as well. Yep, very nice. Here are some assorted cereals. Looks like Raisin Bran on the left, granola, Frosted Flakes, and Corn Flakes on the right. And that brings us to the fresh fruit section. We have some cantaloupe here. And then some honeydew as well. Here are some pears, as well as some peaches. Very nice. All right, what do we have here? Looks like we have a chicken noodle soup. And then that is next to some penne pasta marinara. We have a calzone here. And some garlic breadsticks. I like it. Let's go ahead and wrap around to the next section of the buffet. Here is some meat pizza. Here's cheese pizza. Looks like we have a garden pizza over here for all of you vegetarians. And then a repeat of that meat pizza as well. All right, what else do we have? Looks like this is oatmeal. And that's next to your cinnamon, sugar, brown sugar, and butter. Looks like we have a pasta station here, penne pasta. And that's next to some marinara and Alfredo in the back. We have corned beef hash. And then we have some pancakes, as well as French toast. Some strawberry compote here, as well as some maple syrup. Very nice. All right, let's keep it going. We have bacon and some scrambled eggs. Alrighty, and here we have some sausage patties, as well as some rounded sausage meats in the back. Hi there. We have some breakfast potatoes here. And that's next to some apple cinnamon crepes. Really nice. All right, wrapping our way around here, we have some vegetable frittatas. Next to a nice big pot of country gravy, which is indicative of chicken fried steak, as well as biscuits. That brings us to the carvery here. We have Italian sausage up front. We have some ham in the back there. We have some roasted lemon pepper chicken, as well as kielbasa up front. Now there is an omelet station here. Fresh made to order omelets. And looks like you have your choice of peppers, tomatoes, mushrooms, onions, spinach, jalapenos, bacon, ham, and cheese. Here's some cranberry sauce, salsas, as well as some additional cheese. Very beautiful. And this is a very popular station here at the Garden Court, the Hawaiian section. We have a Hawaiian beef stew here. And that's next to kalua pork with cabbage, as well as shoyu chicken in the back. And that's next to some roasted yams and steamed rice. Very nice. All right, and we are wrapping our way around to the next section. We have some beef liver and onions. And some collard greens in the back here. Looks like we have some baby carrots. And this is labeled as the grilled fish of the day. Some fried chicken. I'm loving how clean everything looks as well right now. And here we have some mac and cheese and au gratin potatoes. And then that's next to some mashed potatoes and turkey gravy. Now we're coming to the end of the main line of the buffet here. Looks like we have some miso soup. That is hot. And then some green onion. Now the buffet does extend past this section. However, everything back here is only available during the dinner service. And so that's the main line of the buffet. Let's go ahead and take a look at the desserts. All right, everyone, and here we are at the dessert section. Let me give you a view. Here we have assorted pastries and cookies. Muffins as well. And then that brings us to the bread pudding. Oh yeah, that looks great. All right, here we have some torts, as well as some pudding. I remember this was quite good the last time I was here. And then your assortment of pies and cakes. Looks like cherry pie, banana cream pie, pineapple cake, chocolate cake, carrot cake. Yeah, all really nice cakes here. And then here are some full displays of those cakes. There's also a no sugar added section. Looks like apple pie as well as a pumpkin pie and some banana cream pie here as well. We have what looks like some banana muffins. All these very nice no sugar added desserts for y'all. All right, and wrapping our way around, here are some ice cream toppings. You have caramel and chocolate. And here are your peanut sprinkles, Cocoa Krispies, and Oreos. All for your ice cream here. All right, very nice. Now I believe that is the entire buffet. I'm gonna go ahead and put this down and I'll get my first plate. I'll catch you in a little bit when I come back with that. All right, everyone, and I'm back with my first plate. And with my first plate, I'm going straight breakfast. I got both the waffle and French toast, as well as some bacon. There was some sausage I wanted to try, as well as their corned beef hash, breakfast potatoes, and an over medium egg. And this is all looking really good. Let's eat. Alrighty, first up is the over medium egg. Now, if you watch any of my previous buffet videos, you know that I love over medium eggs when it comes to the omelet station. Let's see how it is here. You got the cook-through whites as well as a runny yolk. A really nice over medium egg there. All right, next up, breakfast bacon. I'm definitely more of a fan of crispier bacon, and it's looking pretty crispy here. Let's see how it stacks up. Yeah, I like that. I love the crispiness of the bacon here, and the fat's been rendered nicely. Good salty flavor as well. No complaints on the bacon. All right, next up, corned beef hash. I mean, this looks like your typical corned beef hash that you would get out of a can from the supermarket. Now, I grew up on this stuff, so hopefully it's good here at Mainstreet Station. It's exactly as I expected. It tastes like corned beef hash from a can, but I don't really have a problem with that. The overall texture is fairly mushy, although the potatoes are nicely cooked through. Now, obviously, there's a huge difference between elevated corned beef hash and then the kind that you get from a can, but they do both have their identities, and I appreciate both differently. All right, next up, the rounded rope sausage from the breakfast station. Thick, meaty sausage here. Let's give it a try. You know, I'd say that's just okay. I guess my issue with this sausage is that it plays everything a little too safe. The general texture of the sausage is relatively floppy, no real snap to the casing, and I wouldn't exactly call it a satisfying meat chew. There is a very small hint of spice at the very end of the bite. They really need to amp up that a lot more. But in general, the flavors just feel subdued. Okay, next up, breakfast potatoes. I did end up getting a little bit of yolk on these, but I'm sure it's going to be fine. Let's go and give it a taste. Yeah, okay, not a fan of those potatoes today. They are ever so slightly hard. They definitely needed about a minute or two more cooking time. Unfortunately, they taste relatively under-seasoned, and it's kind of just a starchy potato flavor. There are little bits of peppers and onions in here, but unfortunately, their flavors don't really come through in the bite. I'd probably skip on those the next time I'm here. All right, let's try some sweets, starting with the French toast. This actually does look and feel like one of the better French toasts I've had from a buffet. High hopes, let's go and give it a try. Oh yeah, that's really great. All the elements of a great French toast are present here. Nice fluffy bread texture in the center with that toasty crust on top. It's a perfect amount of eggs and milk that have been used in this French toast. I really enjoyed the richness. You really get the cinnamon and vanilla elements here. And then of course you have the maple syrup adding another layer of sweetness. The French toast is really good today. I'm a big fan. Okie doke, and last but certainly not least from this plate is gonna be the waffle. I put a little bit of a strawberry compote on top as well as some maple syrup. And if this is anywhere as good as that French toast, I'm in for a treat. Oh my gosh, that is so good. It's actually still crispy on the outside, and it's really cakey and nice on the inside. The waffle batter used here is incredibly flavorful. You can actually taste the vanilla and the butter. I will say that the strawberry compote is a bit overly sweet, but this might be one of the best buffet waffles I've had in a really long time. I'm such a huge fan. All right, everyone, a pretty nice start to my meal. A lot of great breakfast items. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, and we'll go for plate number 2. Don't go anywhere, I'll be right back. All right, everyone, so I'm back with my second plate, and with my second plate, we're going for some lunch items. I got some fried chicken and pizza, as well as some biscuits and gravy and chicken fried steak. And I also got their pasta marinara, as well as some mac and cheese. A ton of American favorites here. Time to give it a taste. All right, first up, the meat pizza. Looks like it's pepperoni, sausage, and some kind of ham on this. Let's give it a bite. You know, I'd say that's just okay. The meats all here taste fine. You've got some very slightly spicy pepperonis here, a pretty savory sausage, and a decently salty ham. I mean, the cheese is certainly present, it's salty and rich. But unfortunately, the biggest lackluster factors of this pizza are its crust and the sauce. I wouldn't say the crust is underdone, but it's a hair away. And unfortunately, you don't taste much of the sauce at all. Because of how rich all the other ingredients are, you really want to taste some of the acidity or some sweetness from the tomatoes in the sauce. And the lack of those balancing flavors kind of makes this pizza pretty one-sided. You know, I'd probably end up skipping that the next time. All right, next up, let's try the pasta marinara. A relatively light red tomato sauce here. Let's see how it tastes. Yep, definitely not a fan of that one. The texture of the pasta is so mushy, it might as well just be a paste. Unfortunately, the tomato sauce here is incredibly bland. If you were to find any tomato sauce recipe online and then cut all of the ingredients by a third, but kept the same amount of water, that's exactly what this tastes like. The oregano, a whisper. The salt, it's just a hint. The pepper, maybe there's a reminder in there somewhere. And overall, the sauce leans very sweet. It needs more seasoning, it needs to be cooked down longer. Unfortunately, I'm not a fan of this dish at all. All right, next up, chicken fried steak. Definitely one of my favorite foods growing up, and I'm still a fan today. Hopefully the one here at the Garden Court is good. This is a really well done chicken fried steak. I'm a big fan. The batter is still nice and crispy, but also very well seasoned. I love the amount of paprika that's in the batter. There's a really smoky element to it. Nice levels of salt and pepper, great job with the seasoning. The beef inside is thin and nicely tenderized and imparts a solid flavor. The gravy unfortunately trends a little watery, but there is a nice black pepper hit from there as well. I really like it. Big fan of the chicken fried steak here. All right, next up, the partner to any great chicken fried steak is a good biscuit. Let's give it a try. Now, I've got decent hopes for this because as I cut through it, it felt pretty good. Let's see how it tastes. You know, that's quite interesting. The texture here is actually very, very nice. Great cook on the outside, and you can see the layers of a flaky interior. What is so odd though is that for about half of my chewing, I didn't taste anything. A really weird sensation when you're chewing something but you can't taste anything. And I would say in the last third of the bite is when you start to actually taste the biscuit. And unfortunately, I wouldn't say the flavor is anything special. It's kind of just a starchy biscuit. You know, I wouldn't say it's terrible, but my hopes were really high after that chicken fried steak. All right, next up, macaroni and cheese. I mean, I feel like everyone should be able to enjoy a good mac and cheese. Let's see how it is here at the Garden Court. Now, I know I don't really say this on the channel too often, but that might be one of the worst things I've had in my entire life. You can't really call this a macaroni and cheese. I would call this an overcooked macaroni, period. The pasta's certainly overdone here. There's no real chew to it at all. Now, I call this macaroni and not macaroni and cheese because while the color might be orange, I kid you not when I say I do not taste cheese at all. It's weird because I can see cheeses here, but there's no indication of the flavor anywhere. Unfortunately, not a fan. This is not the way. Alrighty, last but certainly not least on this plate, a piece of the fried chicken. Got a nice thigh piece here. Let's go ahead and give it a try. You know, I'd say that's pretty middle of the road fried chicken there. I do like the crunch of the batter, but the cumin in the seasoning is a little heavy-handed. The chicken isn't exactly moist, but it's not super dry either. It just kind of feels like the chicken's been in the fryer maybe about a minute longer than it should have. All right, everyone, and that's my second plate here at the buffet. Unfortunately, though, not one of my best. But you know, that's not going to deter me. Let's go for plate number 3. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. All right, everyone, so I'm back with my third plate. And with my third plate, I went to try out all of the Hawaiian items. We've got their shoyu chicken as well as their kalua pork, some yams, and their Hawaiian beef stew. This is all looking really good. Let's give it a try. All right, first up, shoyu chicken. A super dark stained chicken here. Let's give it a try. Yeah, that's very tasty. Really moist and juicy chicken meat. They did a great job on the cook. You certainly get that salty umami flavor from the soy, although I will say I wish there was just a touch of sweetness to help balance out some of this flavor. But all said and done, still a very good chicken. Alrighty, next up, let's go ahead and try the kalua pork. Now, kalua pork, cabbage, and rice is definitely a staple when it comes to Hawaiian cuisine, and hopefully the one here at the Garden Court is good. Yeah, that's pretty tasty. The pork is still moist and tender, and it's really fatty. The cabbage has been able to soak up so much of that delicious rendered pork fat, and there's a very pervasive smoky flavor throughout the entire bite. I will say that smoky sensation is lingering quite a bit even after I've eaten it, but that was very tasty. I enjoyed the kalua pork. All right, and one of the most popular dishes here in the Hawaiian section, the Hawaiian beef stew. You would not believe the intense aroma coming off of this. I've got some onion, carrot, potato, as well as some beef on my spoon here. I'm really pumped for this one. Yes, that's very tasty. Now, I'll be honest in letting you know that I'm not exactly sure what makes it Hawaiian, but in general, it's a very good beef stew. All of the vegetables here have been perfectly cooked through. They're just firm enough where they still have a great soft bite. The stew gravy is so incredibly savory and has a beautiful thick consistency. The big chunks of beef in here are meaty and tender, and in general, it's just really hearty and satisfying to eat. I really like this beef stew. All right, everyone, and the last thing to try on this plate is gonna be the yams. Now, I can't say that these are much to look at, but you know it's all about the flavor. Let's see how it stacks up. Wow, that's really nice. Really wonderful texture here. The yams are soft as a cloud. Initially, you get a really woody cinnamon hit, but then that gives way to a really nice natural sweetness that's coming from the yams. That one's very tasty. I like it a lot. All right, everyone, and that's plate number 3, and I'm really enjoying myself. The Hawaiian options here are all really good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy the rest of this plate, and then afterwards we're gonna go for some dessert because I'm filling up. Don't go anywhere, it's sweets when I come back. All right, everyone, and I'm back with my dessert. Let me go ahead and give you a view. I got the banana cream pie as well as a chocolate pudding for me today. It's been a lot of savory food today. I'm definitely in the mood for some sweets. Alrighty, first up, chocolate pudding. The last time I was here at the Garden Court Buffet, I really enjoyed their chocolate pudding. I want to see if it's as good as it was back then. Here we go. Yeah, I still like it here. Now, for all I know, this is just Jell-O pudding mix, but if it is, it's really well done. A nice milk chocolatey flavor here, and a super thick consistency. No complaints from me, I'm still a fan of the chocolate pudding here. All right, everyone, and the last thing I want to try today is going to be the banana cream pie. Definitely one of my favorite desserts. Let's go ahead and give it a taste. Yep, that's pretty good. A nice, sweet, robust banana flavor in the center. The crust underneath is buttery and flaky. All in all, it's pretty good. My only real issue here is that the whipped cream is actually quite dense as opposed to the airy style that I prefer. Not a bad banana cream pie, though. All right, everyone, and that does it for my brunch here at Mainstreet Station's Garden Court Buffet. I certainly had a good time dining today, with my favorite dishes being all of the Hawaiian options as well as that chicken fried steak. It's a real shame that both of the pasta dishes were so lackluster today, but you are getting an all-you-can-eat brunch for less than $30 here at the Garden Court Buffet. I would say it's well worth it. Now go and give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. I would love for more people to see it. And if you enjoy food content from here in Las Vegas, subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot of great stuff coming your way. And that's all for this one. Have a great day, and I hope you enjoy Vegas with me, Shin. Bye.